In this video, we'll be taking a look at Princess Leia Organa as Jabba's prisoner for the Power of the Force line. And this is the first regular Power of the Force action figure we're taking a look at on the channel. I have done a few before of like the expanded universe characters such as Kyle Katarn and the Dark Trooper. But I figured no better character to kind of debut the normal or the regular action figures than Slave Leia here. So this isn't an action figure I really intended on getting, but I happened to see it online there, and I thought, you know, that actually looks like a really good Slave Leia action figure, and it was only a couple dollars, so I was like, you know what, I'll go ahead and get this, and I'm glad I did. Just an initial look at it is, quite frankly, I think it's a really good action figure, especially for the time. This was still in that transition phase between the really bulky action figures that look like they're on steroids, and then the time that they Hasbro started doing the proportions more right on them. But one thing I do like about this action figure, without even opening it yet, is yes, it's obviously not the most articulated in the world, but it makes it look aesthetically a lot better, especially with the arms and the legs here. And because it doesn't have that extra articulation like the TBC action figure does or the Legacy Collection one, of course Hasbro can make that look a lot better. The face obviously doesn't look quite like Leia, but you know, I was thinking that I could add this to my Jabba's throne room or Boba Fett's throne room, and then I could treat this as like a totally different character that just happens to be wearing the same outfit as Leia here. So that is a possibility. One thing I'll do real quick, show off this Power of the Force card in all its glory. Very iconic card back. I'm starting to get really into these Power of the Force action figures. The more I start diving into the line, it's actually pretty good. Of course, this was before I really started getting the collecting, but I've kind of followed this line throughout the years and know what it's all about. So we have the image of Vader there, Star Wars The Power of the Force, Princess Leia Organa as Jabba's prisoner. So I think it has this reflective look to it because it's alluding to the 20th anniversary of the original trilogy. At least that's my understanding of it. And then at one point, they did away with the reflective look to it and just went with the basic print. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I know there's something to that with this particular figure even. This one does have the reflective look. Of course, the action figure right there. Kenner down here. This is technically before the Hasbro days. Well, Hasbro did acquire the company by then. So, image of Leia there. That's the same image that's used on the TBC card. For a few statistics about her. There's a pretty good image of Leia though. And some of the other characters. I can't really see myself getting any of these. But for the ships here, the Snowspeeder looks like it's pretty good. And same with the Skyhopper. It's pretty interesting. Then some of the other action figures. I know that Death Star Gunner is pretty good. And I would not mind having the Sand Trooper and the Boba Fett. The 2-1B medical droid probably be pretty good as well. Yeah. So some pretty nice action figures. And join the official Star Wars fan club. So I think I'm just going to be opening this action figure as is. I'm not too particular about keeping this card back. Thankfully it was a very clean rip. Let's see here. So we just pop the action figure out here. Hopefully she's not sticky or anything like that. And so far, so good. Seems like she's going to have some trouble standing. So we'll put her on this stand here for now. Then we have her chain, which is easy enough to pop out. And that's pretty much it for accessories. So yeah, immediately I'm already a big fan of this action figure. So the paint detailing on this is really good. Like I said, despite it not looking like Leia so much, for what it is, it's very nice. It's aesthetically a good action figure to look at. He did a pretty good job with the eyebrows and the eyes and all the facial features. Hair they did pretty good. Then we have the clasp up here by her bun for both sides. Nice goldish color. We have the ponytail back here with the braid. Then we have the clasp down here at the bottom. Nice detailing in the bra, I suppose. Then for her loincloth, I think it has a nice flow to it. She does have these accessories for her wrist, or just the one here. I think usually she has two, doesn't she? No, it's just the one. She does have the one on this arm here. You can see by her hands, this one's almost like she's trying to make the OK sign with that. So that's pretty interesting. Well, this one, obviously, she could hold on to an accessory. Maybe this one, for instance. Yeah, she can hold that pretty good. This is the TBC skiff staff. Of course, her boots. Articulation's obviously minimal. She does have a swivel at the neck there, and swivel shoulders, and swivel hips. So 5 POA, or swivel waist too. So what is that one? 6 POA. Then for her one accessory, this chain here. This is definitely a much bigger chain than what we're used to getting. The more recent releases of Slave Leia usually have a very short chain that just barely goes past her neck. Let's see if we can fit this around her. Oh yeah, that seems pretty good. Yep, that fits pretty nice. And it does have enough flex to it, so if you wanted to put this in Jabba's hand, you could easily just have him hold on to that with Leia off to the side. So pretty good thinking on Hasbro's part. But I think that's pretty much all there is to show about this action figure. Bring out a couple comparisons here real quick. She is with the TBC one. You can see the huge difference between the two action figures. I didn't realize there was that much of a height difference. I would say this TBC one is definitely more accurate for the height. Both are great action figures in their own way. I can't say, oh, one's better than the other. One plus for this is that it's more aesthetically better looking because it doesn't have all the articulation points. But this one's definitely more in scale. And I think some of the details on it are a little bit better. Of course, she looks much closer to Carrie Fisher than this one does, I think. But I'm glad I have them both. They're both nice action figures. Then we have this one here, the Legacy Collection one with the spare legs, which is the same one as the TBC figure. Well, yeah, that's pretty much all I can say about this. Would I recommend this Slave Leia for your collection? Or Princess Leia Organa as Jabba's prisoner, as it's known on the package? I would if you're a fan of Slave Leia or you want to add a Slave Leia to your collection. And if you are a fan of the character in any way, it's pretty good for what it is. Like I said, I only paid a couple dollars for it, so not too bad. I'm glad to add it to my collection. Like I said, even though she doesn't quite look like Leia in the face there, I might just treat her as like she's a totally different character that just happens to have the same outfit. But glad to add this to my collection. I'm glad this is technically the debut basic Power of the Force action figure reviewed on the channel. Hopefully many more in the future. But anyways, that concludes this review. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for plenty more reviews in the future. There will always be more to come. If you haven't already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I just appreciate all your support, and check out some links in the description if you haven't done so already. And as always, thanks for watching.